Hello, and welcome to the Disability Myth. My name is Dominic, and I live with a fatal disease called spinal muscular atrophy. Together, my amazing caretaker, co-host, and best friend, Uriel, and I plan to debunk misconceptions, share our personal experiences, and shatter your expectations. But we're not stopping there. We're bringing in experts, thought leaders, and everyday people who are smashing through societal barriers, paving the way for a more inclusive world. Whether you're tuning in to learn, empathize, or simply to be entertained, the show promises to be an eye-opening experience that transcends boundaries. Because when it comes down to it, what makes us different is what makes us extraordinary. Well, hello there. Welcome back to another episode of
Disability
Myth.
with
Your handsome, humble,
Hammy.
and hammy hosts. Me, Uriel Ruelas, and alongside me, as always, Dominic Trevathan.
Hi. I'm gonna
Um,
confuse the hell out of people.
yeah.
He's actually Dominic.
Well, this is the season 3 finale, so if you're just deciding to arbitrarily start with this episode, it's kind of on you.
Joke's on you. Um, let's tell the audience what we did for the last hour. We were reading student letters, which is
Yeah.
really fun.
So if you watched our previous episode, we spoke with Victor McConnell, a friend of ours from the high school we went with. We were talking to him about how we had spent a couple days at the high school recently. Uh, one of my former English teachers had asked me to come speak to her classes of freshmen, pretty much all freshmen. And
Was it? I thought, were they all freshmen?
yeah, everyone that we went to in the portables was were freshmen.
Oh, okay.
When I spoke at Refugio, those were 10th and 11th
Okay.
graders, but it
Like
was
a mixed bag.
predominantly freshmen.
Okay. Hmm.
And it was a really fun experience. Got to give a little presentation that I've given before about how I find significance in the
It
insignificance.
was like a modified version of your Fisher speech.
Right, that I had given at the Cottage Outlook speaker series at the
We're
Great
doing
Baker
again.
Foundation, which we will be going to again. I don't think I'll be speaking. It's just going to be a chill hangout, meet and greet.
That's gonna be just as
Hope
equally as cool. It's gonna be
hopefully
great.
hopefully there's pizza again.
Rusty's, the only.
Yes.
Shout out Rusty's,
Shout out
even though I never
Rusty's.
eat them because I don't live in Santa Barbara. But when
Oh,
I do, it's pretty
no, you
good.
know what's really good is toppers. Have you had toppers?
No, is that like an Oxnard
Yeah,
supremacy thing?
it is. Yeah.
Okay, all right. All right, Oxnard, buddy. You're in Santa Barbara County now. I see you best respect.
The Rusties.
Yeah.
Hey, there's Rusties
It's not the same.
in Oxnard too. So
Maybe I could be wrong. But what a like a plot twist. The Rusty and Oxnard is actually the first location, and I'm being like weird.
probably.
Maybe. But what is Toppers like? Do they have the nipple pepperoni? Okay.
I'm not cutting that.
The nipperoni, it's like the tiny pepperonis that curl up when they heat up, and it's like a little bowl of grease.
Kinda, yeah,
And me and my
I
friends call
think
it
so.
nipple pepperoni.
I think so.
Okay, like little bowls of grease.
Yeah. Just how you like it, you know?
No, not that's not how I like it. It's crazy.
So
Grease bowls.
so yeah, we'll be doing that again coming up next month. But yeah, it was just to get back to what we were talking about, the speaking at the high school. It was really fun, really a good experience for me, getting to just get more practice speaking in front of an audience.
A tough crowd too.
Tough crowds too.
Like, maybe we walked in with perceived like fears of talking to high schoolers. We were worried that they weren't going to engage or like side eye or not really less like pay attention.
And there were some, there's always a few in the bunch. A couple of people were just honk chewing away. And that's to be expected. It's all good.
It was 8 a.m.
It was 8 a.m.
Yeah.
We also had the after lunch class.
Yeah.
That's what you get. But I was just telling Uriel that my The teacher that I spoke for, she actually came by yesterday afternoon, dropped off some letters,
A lot.
lots of
A lot of
letters.
letters.
She had all the students write me a letter as part of homework, and just kind of thanking me for coming to speak and asking me any follow-up questions that they wanted. So I figured it'd be a cool way to kind of start off this season 3 finale to kind of go over some of the questions that they asked. And well, actually, I think we're planning on doing a whole video covering each and every question. That'll be a one-off, a different video in the future sometime
which I'm
soon.
excited for. I think you came up with that idea. I think it's a good idea because there's a lot of questions.
There's a
We
lot.
got probably like that's me, Southern California. Like we like totally got like almost like 100 letters, man.
Yeah.
Like more than that. Like we're like pushing 200.
Pushing 200
Push
letters.
about I don't know. Would you like at least 100? I think.
Yeah, at least 100, probably closer to 150.
Yeah,
So, suffice to say, lots of questions, lots of letters. That'll be cool to
very
kind of,
thoughtful. Some of them
yeah,
really like well thought. Some interesting questions.
yeah. So that'll be cool to share just a few of them here since we don't have a guest since it's the finale. Figured me and Uriel could kind of
Whee!
mano a mano them. And yeah, we figured that's a good way to start out this finale before
Like
we
the
kind
old
of
days, raw dogging it,
raw
like the old days.
before we kind of jump into all the episodes that we went and filmed this season, all of our awesome guests. So yeah, without further ado, Uriel, if there was one thing you wished you could do that you can't because of your disability, what would it be?
Oh, you're asking me this? Oh,
Plot
um,
twist.
I don't know. I like we go back and forth whether or not I have ADHD or not.
Or like you're on the spectrum.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a common thing. I don't
Do you feel disabled?
know.
I
Um,
dub thee.
oh, you dubbed. Oh, thank you. Honorary. That's
Yes.
right. I'm in
Yes.
part of the club. Um, honestly, I wish I could just f focus on homework, job, work-related things without having to drastically change my environment.
Yeah, you're always talking to me like
Yeah.
about how you want to be at the library because it's like
Oh, yeah, I'm
so
always moving. Yeah.
noisy at home and distraction filled and
Well, it's like not that it's noisy. It's just like once I sit down at a space where I've done entertaining things before, like if I sit on my own computer, yeah, I do homework on it, but it's also a gaming PC.
yeah.
If, it's a computer, there's multiple functions, and I'm like, well, it's like, and it's very hard to not, like, sometimes it's a habit where you go on your computer, like, oh, let's see, like, what fun little YouTube videos there are. Let's check emails. Let's, like, do this stuff, right? And it's really easy to get distracted by it.
Yeah.
And that's like, I told you, I wish I could just lock in, as the kids say, and just ignore everything, ignore like the family, ignore like any other forms of just entertainment, fun, and just like that.
Yeah.
Which is why I go off and hide at cafes, libraries, whatnot, to just do it.
What's the saying? Uh, born to dilly dally, forced to
Force the
lock
lock. I'm forced to lock in. Crazy.
in.
It's oh shit. Like how I'm like all scatterbrained. You know how hard I find that for myself. It's like,
Yeah.
oh man. I gotta do a 10-page paper. I gotta do a 10-page paper. And then you call or text me, oh, you want to plan this episode? Sorry, bro, I'm at the cafe. Remember that?
At the cafe.
I'm at the cafe. I'm having my cute little drink. I'm being very mindful, very demure,
Very cutesy.
very cutesy.
Not like the other students.
I'm not like the others. I'm out here. I'm grinding. Um, I'll
So
answer the question for. I know exactly how you're going to answer that one.
what?
Feeding yourself.
No.
Oh,
That's close though.
is it?
Good guess. There's a movie in which I'm failing to recall the name of right now.
Is that the one where they take the dude to the prostitution house?
No,
Okay, because
that's a TV show.
oh, is it?
I also forget what that's called.
Oh,
That's the one with Jim Jeffries, the
okay,
Australian
okay for
comedian.
the like the house, like the prostitution bit, that's like a subplot. It's more like the journey, the things that they did. Like they went to the Grand Canyon, they've hung out, whatever. If I, do you remember the name of the movies? I've dug myself a hole.
The movie that I'm thinking of, I think it's called The Fundamentals of Caring.
Oh, that's a sad one. That's a tearjerker.
It involved, or it starred, I think, Paul Rudd, Ant-Man himself,
Yeah, man himself.
and he was taking care of someone that lived with muscular dystrophy. And I resonated with this movie for a ton of different reasons, but the reason I'm mentioning it is because it really stuck with me the fact that they made it a point to, for the main character with muscular dystrophy, it was his dream to pee standing up.
Oh, it's that one. See, I'm confusing it with that one and the TV show you showed me because
Right.
both of them had similar like
Right.
vibes.
Yeah.
So sorry for saying prostitution. It's the brothel.
Now I have to mark
The
this
brothel.
video as explicit again, Uriel. Dang
Oh
it.
my gosh, I know.
Dag
Oh,
nabbit.
oh,
So, yeah, I just love that movie because I resonate with that so much, you know? Just the idea of being able to stand up,
do you want a piece standing
go
up?
pee, it sounds mad, absolutely mad. You know, my only frame of reference for urinating is lying down and going in a urinal.
We call it the piss can, but on what is it actually medically called?
Urinal.
Urine.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, have you seen like the meme where somebody bought one? It's like this is a crazy gravy boat.
It's a what?
A gravy boat.
A gravy boat?
Oh, whatever.
What does that mean? Hold
Oh,
up. Hey, yo, hold up. What does that mean?
someone had purchased one of those urinals, not knowing it was a urinal, and they used it as a gravy
An
boat.
actual gravy?
Yeah,
Like for
like
gravy.
yeah, for Thanksgiving, like a gravy boat. And somebody took a picture and like, oh, this is crazy.
That's wild.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming, yeah, it's gross, but like yeah, at
I
that
mean,
point,
if it's brand new,
they had already washed it, whatnot,
if it's
it's
never been used,
yeah,
sure, I could see it. Yeah.
um,
Okay. Yeah,
would you
so
like to be standing up?
I think that would be the dream. Now
Would
it's
you like me to help you with that? Like we could do that.
I don't know how we do that.
What do you mean?
Do you remember how they did it in the movie? Did I show it to you?
Oh, well, it's like arm, like my arms underneath your shoulders and just dangling.
See, I feel like I would be too tensed up to be able to relax enough. But the way they
Um,
did it in the movie was they got him on a an ambulance gurney
we don't have one of those.
that happened to be at the world's deepest pit. This guy was a connoisseur, an enjoyer of the world's biggest things.
Oh, the rubber band ball.
The rubber band ball, the biggest uh cow, I think, statue.
Yeah.
Bunch of different stuff like that. And so he also wanted to go to the world's deepest, biggest pit, which was, I think, like a quartz mine in somewhere in the Southwest, I believe.
Hmm. That
Anyways,
sounds about right. They have crazy caves there.
so I went to the biggest pit. They had an ambulance there for whatever reason it was there. And they got him on the gurney and he took a whiz into the deepest pit in the world. And that's that stuck with me ever since.
It's
It's
like a road trip idea for
been
you.
a real motivator for me.
A road trip
Yeah.
idea. Take the van. Oh, we'd have to go on a weekday. That way we don't get caught for public urination.
Yeah.
I don't because I that's obviously a movie. I'll joke like this is all jokes. We're not actually gonna go pee in
Yeah, same. We're not
yeah.
actually gonna publicly urinate.
For the record.
Just a joke, guys.
But yeah, I could help you stand up and pee. Like you want to do it outside or you want to do it on like in a toilet? Like, do you want the experience of like being out there in the bush and
I
just
mean, in the words of the girl that does the flat bottom-sided taco shell commercials,
oh
¿Por qué no los dos?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I knew you were going with that. Like, oh,
So yeah, we'll follow up video coming soon.
standing up to pee tutorial coming soon.
Coming soon.
In great detail, 20 steps. Oh wait,
20
wait,
steps.
uh-oh.
Steps.
Ah, RPMs.
Like how we're 10 minutes into this recording and this is already like our funniest episode ever.
I because I don't know because we don't have a guest to like keep us in check. Like, yes, sir. Wow.
Yep.
You know.
Just being a couple of goofballs.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
What's your well, these are all questions given to us by students, by the way. If you forgot,
yeah.
so we're all over the place. What was your favorite spot on campus? Whee!
So
My dorm. No joking. Alone, away from people. I hate people.
so I wasn't sure if this question was regarding me talking about going to UCLA and like Hancock, or if this was more directed at my favorite spot on the high school
Favorite
campus.
spot, ASU online. My
Canvas,
bed. Yeah,
canvas, the discussion board
can.
threads.
Yeah.
Um, so I figured we kind of answer these from like all three perspectives. High school
Okay.
wise,
Yeah.
high school wise, I mean, lore wise, it's
A spot.
the bench that was
Bench.
right outside the English building.
I think we should even include that in the episode because I took photos of it.
You did?
I
That's right, you did.
I did take photos of it.
You did.
Hold up. Because I messaged all my high school friends that I still talk to. It's like, oh, look what they massacred it. Look what they did to the spot. I don't have a picture of what it used to look like prior.
Yeah, so definitely the bench outside of the English department, in
Yeah.
front of the finance building, question mark, where they sell all the prom tickets and stuff.
Oh, high school?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's that building. Yeah.
I don't. Those are subject to change. I'm not sure if like where they do stuff now.
Anyways, that was our spot. I also spent quite a bit of time in my former English teacher's class the first time I moved here, actually, for that first year or so, because I didn't really know anybody. She was super nice and friendly and had a microwave where I could heat up my pizza rolls at lunch. So
Oh,
it worked out.
that's the determining factor of the microwave.
Exactly.
Making small talk, but you're secretly eyeing the microwave. It's like, yeah,
Hidden
uh-huh.
hidden motives. So yeah, that was our favorite spot, I think, right? The bench, right? Did you
Um,
have a different one?
I was nomadic.
Yeah, okay.
I was, yeah, you know me. I went everywhere. I had like seven different friend groups I spoke to.
Mr.
Like,
Popular.
not really acquaintance. Well, so it's funny because some lore, some deep lore, some Uriel lore. I have I'm the only one in my family that has not been on the homecoming, prom, whatever court.
Really?
Yeah. My older cousins were on the court. Um, my younger cousins were on the court. My brother was on the court. Me, I got like 3 votes. So
I rem
so not that popular. Beats, yeah, there you go. Fun
I
fact.
I remember senior superlatives. I tried getting everybody I knew to vote me for having best car
Yeah.
because of my wheelchair.
I don't remember what I voted. I never took those polls seriously. I just put a bunch of nonsense on there.
Yeah,
But favorite spot at
Hancock.
Hancock? For me, it was probably the writing center, but not for social reasons, just because um it wasn't as studious as the library. It was a little more open, and they had computers. I could just sign in, set at a computer, and just do it. At the library, it's I don't know. There's a lot of people going in and out. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah, Hancock, I didn't spend a whole lot of time on campus. I did a lot of asynchronous courses there from home online. And the one or two courses I did take on campus got cut short by COVID. So
yeah, yeah.
in the time that I did spend on campus, I'd say I liked hanging out at the library the most. Had a nice vibe to it. So
Oh, yeah, that was the Coke Goat semester.
one of them.
I
Not I
think
don't know, was it that COVID semester? I think it was after.
it might have been a summer
We
course.
should really explain what Coke
Coke
Goat.
Goat.
Yeah.
Well, he's the goat, and he's got a Coke.
So we took a creative writing course together, and one of our assignments was to write a creative writing prompt
Hmm.
and share it on the discussion board, and then you would have to claim somebody else's prompt that they wrote and write the essay or the assignment that they described. So us being friends in the same course,
We planted our own prompts.
yeah.
Yeah, all right.
So mine for Uriel's was man in the fridge. Naked man in the fridge, to be
Yeah.
specific.
Honestly, probably one of the most unhinged things I've ever written. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if I were to go back and read it, I'd probably cringe exceptionally hard.
We're gonna have to link the docs.
No,
We're gonna have to
I'm
now.
good. No, I'm good. No,
The people need to know.
no, they could read Coco, but
Yeah,
because yours is pretty innocent.
I mean the whole time you don't think it is though. Like the way so he wrote me a prompt for Coke Goat, and essentially the way I wrote it is like, it's about a goat that lives in, I think, Havana, Cuba.
Why that spot?
I don't know.
Why did you pick Cuba?
I think I had just played Assassin's Creed Black Flag,
Okay,
and I was inspired by
very good one. It's been a while since they've a banger of a game.
banger of a game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been downhill since then.
Yeah. I played about like 2 hours of Valhalla and got bored.
That's
It
a
was,
lot of people's
yeah.
like opinions.
So anyways, Havana, Cuba, and it's about a goat. Like I think I kind of anthropomorphized the goat. And it was sentient.
You what? To a goat? You what?
Anthropomorphized, I believe is the way you say it.
Is that like Rule 34? What is that?
Anyways, it's a goat that the whole time you think it does coke, but it's just drinking soda.
A Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
I know Coca-Cola.
yeah. So that's fun. And then
UCLA.
UCLA,
Yeah.
favorite spot on campus at UCLA. Honestly, probably the field of grass between Powell Library and Royce Hall.
You're
Uh,
gonna
it's a big empty field. Just
insert image here.
yeah, the architecture is beautiful on either side. You got, like I said, the Royce Hall there, and across you got Powell Library. You got the tower on top of Royce Hall. It's very aesthetically pleasing. And then in the middle, if you look out from the lawn, away from campus, you can see down Jan steps, which is just,
Jan.
yeah, just a really cool view. Not so much a fan of the steps up Jan steps, but once you're up top, it's nice.
Yeah, who's Jan and why did he install steps?
For real.
Oh, my op. My final boss.
And then yeah, so final kind of icebreaker we thought we would mention from the letters that I got. Did you find it easier to make friends in college than high school? I'll let you start
Me? On the spot, on the
on the
cuff,
spot.
ripping off the dome. I think it's easier to relate to people once you leave high school and things aren't as clicky anymore. Because I think the hardest thing about high school, it's a gnarly social experiment where you're just kind of thrusted into an environment that's 3, 4, 5 times bigger than your middle school. And then all of a sudden, the people you had acquaintanceship or kind of knew in middle school don't talk to you anymore. And then you have to find other people that have similar interest to yours. But then once you find the people, once you've established like a common interest, then it requires quite a lot of like cognitive gymnastics to be like, oh, is this person cool or not? And then you're constantly flip-flopping everywhere. And you're awkward and you're going for puberty and things don't make sense.
Yeah.
And you're like emotional as hell. College, though, most of that's worked out. And most people just are better at socializing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You understand the phenomenon. You know what
I
I'm talking about.
I fully agree.
Yeah.
That's basically what I was gonna say. I think there's a lot you don't really know about yourself in high school,
No.
and that applies to everybody, not just you. And by the time you get to college or uni, that, like Uriel said, is kind of figured out. You know a bit more about yourself. You also, I think you're encouraged more in college and unis to get out and like do more things than just school, because college is supposed to be quote unquote an experience, right? And I think people probably get out and do more in college, whether it be partying, joining frats, sororities, like all the type of clubs, the hoopla going on,
Yeah, because it's
more opportunities, I'd say.
yeah, because it's you know, you're going from I'm gonna go down to like Jake's house to play Madden for like 5 hours and like walk home versus oh shoot, I can play Madden until 3 a.m. and my roommates can give me a joint and I could try weed for the first time and my parents are none the wiser. But I don't have a curfew. And not that I'm encouraging it, but that's like an example of like the insane amount of freedom one has.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, when's my bedtime? Haha. When I want it. When I want it. When I want it to be.
Time to screw up my
Rah, rah, rah,
circadian
rah, rah.
rhythm.
Yeah. You know.
Yep.
Um,
But yeah, so that's just a few of the questions that we got. We probably got, I think, 20 or 30 written out
oh yeah,
total.
it's gonna be. It's gonna. I mean, we might make it two-part if this is gonna be us ripping like this for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Oh geez. Oh man.
Like and subscribe.
Oh, make sure to hit that bell.
Yep.
Or else. That's so sick. All right.
So yeah, as our
Ah,
sign off, like we always do, we're gonna go ahead and run through all of our episodes we recorded this season, touch on what we remember, what we learned, and just kind of reflect on everything. So, with that being said, we started off episode one, season three with Skylar Kovich. That episode was Seeing Beyond Sight. I must say, I'm very proud of my episode titles. If
seeing beyond sight.
yeah, that goes hard. That just goes hard.
It does.
Yeah. So, episode with Skylar was really fun. That was our first kind of warm up back into recording. That was our first
Yeah, definitely a warm
that we
up. We
did.
we were feeling the nerves on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were like, oh man,
So
it's been a while.
thankfully he was super, super cool, super nice, friendly. Got to learn a lot about what it's like to live without being able to see anything or perceive anything other than light, right?
Hmm.
That was the extent of his blindness, I believe. He could see light, but nothing beyond that. Couldn't make out faces, figures, colors, nothing really. So really, really cool stuff. He told us about what sticks out to me is his getting to meet Stevie Wonder. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think the thing that I found really cool about him is that he introduced me to things in the blind community that as an able-bodied person I never really considered, like Kane versus Dog,
Yeah,
which is sounds ridiculous, but I didn't know it was a heated thing. It's like, whoa.
Calgary Pepsi.
No, I think it's deeper than that. It's just I don't know. It's like dog versus cane,
Yeah.
walking stick, no walking stick, like stuff like that. That's really
I
cool.
remember him talking about he would have to plan out routes to get
That's yeah,
places, and
yeah.
oh, I remember the clip because it was part of our trailer for the season. I was like talking about how it was so cool that he planned everything out. He had the meta planned out for everything
Which
beforehand.
just goes to show that there's not really a whole lot separating us. It's just it's similar to you where you have to plan things out ahead of time and you're more detailed orientated.
Hmm.
And that's what Skylar's doing. And as long as he does that and he runs his errands and does everything, it's essentially no different from
Anybody else?
right.
Yeah.
And I think we'll mention it later towards the end with Victor, how Victor receives questions like, "What's it like having one arm?" I don't know. What's it like having three arms?
Yeah.
It's like it's just a little different. You just have to work a little harder. But the thing is, it's like when you're so used to doing that and planning things out, and you have such a solid routine, and it becomes second nature. It's not really hard or intensive or it's just a second thought. And it's just part of your everyday routine, like me getting up and brushing my teeth
Yeah.
essentially. And I'm pretty sure you could relate to that sentiment a bit.
Definitely. We're creatures of habit. We do things that work well for us, that make our lives easier. To kind of tie back into our talk with Victor McConnell, like you mentioned, he explained that, living with a disability can be thought of as just a series of inconveniences that you have to face on a daily basis. And, Skylar told us about those inconveniences and, having to plan those routes, um, having to have someone there to help him read if there's no braille available.
Also,
There's,
the Braille bit was also really interesting too.
yeah,
Um,
the Wikipedia admin.
Very heartwarming about his child.
Yeah,
And it's like if it really heartwarming, like, oh, that's dope,
talked about being on the Santa Barbara Access Advisory Board,
which is cool.
doing a lot of work in Santa Barbara to improve accessibility and whatnot for those that are blind and those across the spectrum
Yeah.
of disability.
Also, another touching story, his mentor, who was Palestinian,
Right.
which is quite um what's the word? A relevant
Yeah.
thing currently.
Yeah.
For those that are familiar with all that stuff. So it's like, man, it's all great stuff.
Yeah, man.
Hmm.
So that was Skyler. Super fun guy. A lot of cool stories and just yeah, hope to have him back on sometime soon. Another banger of an episode. One of my favorites, probably. Innovating
We
accessibility
were feeling ourselves on this one.
with Bryce Marshall.
Yeah,
Bryce,
with Skylar, we were a little timid. We were like, oh man, it's been a while since we've hit record.
yeah,
But now on this one, okay,
we've been warmed up.
yeah,
Bryce,
we're
so
back in it.
cool. Bryce felt like just a homie. Like we got along super well. Uh, I remember us making jokes about, you know, him telling us about the bathroom at UCSB where you can look out at the ocean as you take a dump.
Oh, never mind. We have to go do that.
That's right.
Well, I have to go do that. Oh my gosh. How
We
do
we
we together?
two birds with one stone, poop in front of that view, and pee standing up in that toilet.
Oh. All right. All right.
Oh, we're cooking.
Woo! Well, holding hands.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, you need some paper, bro? You good, bro? Yeah, bro, I'm good.
Yep.
Damn, I'm so good at saying the thing thought I was playing audio.
Yeah, I just got a pop-up saying, like, are you playing music? You can
Yes,
set up your professional audio settings and audio settings.
that's right here. I can't think of anything. There go around and make our scale. Can you take me higher? I had to do it.
I had to. See how excited we get talking about Bryce.
And
Bryce,
pooping and
pooping.
peeing.
We're professionals. We swear.
He's the engineer, brain tumor survivor.
Yes.
Um,
Started Bryce's devices.
that was a great scare to him, and he said, "Wow, how can I take my skills and help other people?"
Yep.
Because I was almost in their shoes, and now I've been slapped across the face with reality. That's yeah, great stuff.
Yep.
We should I'd like to like talk to Skylar and Bryce again. Like, let's send an email to them.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
Honestly, we should have like a a virtual like get together, like just a big Zoom meeting with all of our guests. Just let them all like mingle. That'd be crazy.
Let's go to Chomp.
Yes. That'd be so
And
epic.
then we'll take a photo and like we'll try to imitate like the final meal of like Jesus. Yeah, so we're all in wheelchairs. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Building a brighter future with Victor, the inspiration.
Yeah. So I actually just did a quick
You
little
did a
radio
radio thing.
interview
Yeah.
with Victor, the
How did that go?
inspiration. That was fun. We talked for quite a while, for an hour or so, and just I'm getting a program together talking about what it's like to grow up with SMA and wanted his perspective alongside my own. And so, it was fun. We have a lot of similar experiences, and it's just cool to talk to like-minded people in that regard, obviously.
He's a friendly guy. He's got that entrepreneurial
Yeah,
pep in his step.
that was the infamous SMA and boats
Uh,
episode.
oh, we had a high schooler that
Ask,
wrote a letter and referenced that episode where
yeah,
me bringing up wheelchairs and boats made him laugh like a raffle on the floor, LMAO. Like, oh, really? Well, I mean, we were having a phone call before the episode. I'm like, I guess we've more or less conquered the skies, flying and everything, but the ocean's kind of crazy, you know, because rarely do planes ever crash into each other, but you just be chilling on a boat and a whale could just say, and it's over, cooked,
so
done.
there goes my possibility of ever going on a trip around the world on a boat.
You want to do that
No, no
on a
sail,
dinghy, you and me?
no sail the Caribbean for me.
Oh man, we could be pirates,
The king of the pirates.
like the king of the pirates. Oh, I don't know. I don't have any hockey. We might be cooked, bro. Can't conquer the seas. We're bad.
Imagine me with a devil fruit consumed. I'd be unstoppable.
I mean, you already can't swim, so like, it wouldn't be that much of a. Oh, we're nerding out. Nobody's gonna know.
If you know,
Nobody's,
you know.
nobody's gonna understand the reference.
But yeah, back to Victor. That was fun. And he was kind of explaining to us his mindset as far as uh,
His
getting into
grind set.
getting into yeah, entrepreneurship, becoming a social media influencer, starting his website, selling his merch, like all that kind of stuff. That was super cool to learn more about that mindset, that grind set. And yeah, no, Victor's super cool. Um, did a lot of like music too, actually. And
Yeah,
I think he told us he got someone from The Voice
he did. I
to
remember that.
to
I
sing
remember that night.
to sing a song that he wrote, which is
Yeah.
like wild. Like, yeah, it's cool. But then we had actually a back-to-back SMA episode with yeah. So yeah, Disability is Punk Rock with Faulty Wires. That was the punk rock band that we interviewed. I think the lead singer's name was Jacob. We talked to Jacob and his bandmate Oliver, and they have a song that they put out on their EP called DUI, which is what Uriel was just referencing.
You can sketch my wheelchair
Anytime.
anytime. Yeah.
Yep,
That's a good one.
bangers. They were really, really fun to talk to. Another fan favorite. He was telling us how they had to put book bags like on his abdomen.
I had people DM me on Instagram tell me like, "Yo, 42 Wise is sick."
Really?
Yeah, I'm like,
Very cool.
yeah. I don't know how to react because I'm awkward. I'm like, "Yee." Because I rarely ever get DMs regarding the podcast.
Yeah,
Because usually they just direct a message. It's because I posted a story, I think.
yeah,
But normally they direct message you or the actual Instagram page or
yeah,
whatnot. But like me, I'm like, "Ooh, who's this person? Oh, faulty. Oh yeah, yeah, like oh cool.
yeah. They were super, super cool.
Yeah.
Just all the kind of insider info they gave us about recording their whole process. Uh, Oliver was telling us how he had to use Logic to cut and chop up Jake's vocals, right?
Yeah.
All the stems, dealing with that was so
I'm putting book
wild.
bags on him.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think you mentioned that. Crazy. It's funny.
yeah. So really, really cool. I think they were talking about possibly doing live shows too in the future. So fingers crossed that happens and gets
That'd be
worked
really
out.
cool. That'd be really fun.
Yeah,
I've never been to a punk show before. Let's see what it's all about.
right, I'm down. Road trip.
Well, I like the title. It's just maybe disability. Disability is punk rock with faulty wires. Well, it's just like this idea that punk music is very it's associated with counterculture or
Hmm. Marginalized.
rebelling or yeah, marginalized communities.
Hmm.
And who's more marginalized than the
Disability.
disability community
Yeah.
and like all that pent up anger and rage of like living in an ableist society. It's, oh, this is heat,
Yep.
but like being able to pull from that to make music that oh yeah, this is it. This is peak,
Yep.
you know. I thought that
Banger.
was really cool.
Banger of an episode. Banger of a band. Banger of an EP.
Friendly
Good stuff.
like me with Alicia Everett, yeah.
Yep. So then we interviewed Alicia Everett, the founder of Friendly Like Me, the app
That's awesome.
and website, which allows those in the disability community to rate and review businesses based on their accessibility, kind of like Yelp, but again, more specific,
But
more
cooler, better,
way cooler,
harder,
better.
stronger, faster.
Yeah.
uh I liked her different take on how people with disabilities go out.
Yeah.
And she understands exactly how you think.
Yeah.
And I think that was very validating for you.
Oh, definitely, for sure. Like, even though she doesn't have my level of disability or anything, um, she's had experiences that she
Like the
shared with us.
bathroom, I'm like, oh shoot.
Yeah, she knew
Oh
exactly
man.
how it
Yeah.
was to be in a power chair and go into a bathroom and have to work that out and deal with the tight spaces. Um, but I think what kind of touched me most about that interview, that conversation, was her story about being at the hospital for, I think it was like a pulmonary embolism,
Which is a crazy thing. Yeah.
and they were like measuring her out in front of everybody in the lobby to see if she would fit in the CT scanner.
Yeah, that
Like,
one.
that's
Yeah.
just crazy.
Yeah.
It just,
Especially when and she brought out the statistics where this is kind of a insane position to be in because almost I forget the statistic, but a lot of Americans are big. Like we're bigger. Like statistically,
we built different.
we're getting fatter.
Yep.
And I mean we're more stationary. We're getting bigger. And these like scanners aren't necessarily built for larger people. And
Yep.
it creates like this thing where, oh, we need to scan this person right away, but I don't know if they'll hit. And so it's kind of like, oh man.
Well, and then I think it was her primary doctor had called that hospital asking if she would fit if they had a whiteboard scanner. I think it was the term.
Oh.
And they were like, "Oh, IDK, bro. Like, how do you not know that information? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
as a
yeah.
hospital, as a facility, like that's just kind of crazy."
Let me put you on hold. No.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep. So that was just she had a really cool story, cool experiences. I mean, not cool, but like insightful, impactful.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
oh, it just I like her approach to it and normalizing that we want to go out, we should go out, we have the right to go out,
Yeah.
and just kind of telling businesses that, hey,
You don't have to spend X amount of money to make your place accessible. You can do short, temporary fixes, right? Like,
because it shows that you care, and
yeah.
if you do it, people will tell other people, it will spread,
Hmm.
and now you are opening your business to a demographic of other customers that normally wouldn't go there.
Yeah.
So it's just, who doesn't like money? That's essentially the argument here is like, come on,
Yeah.
like go buy like $100 ramp and like tell people and advertise, yo, yeah, we got accessibility, come down and eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got, oh, we'll just push a couple of chairs, yeah, come down and eat. You want your money, it's like, oh, okay.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was fun. And then after that, we actually took a step away from interviews. We did a live recording at Aerosmith's Wine Bar here in Solvang, California.
That one was a trip. Well, people have watched it, but the whole like SSI thing and getting into that was a
Yeah,
quite the eye peeler for some people.
at least I
Yeah,
hope. Yeah,
yeah. It's hard to address those things without getting too doomy gloomy
yeah.
because it's like, wow,
That was
the
the real.
government kind of hates us.
Yep,
It's like, yeah,
that was the delicate balance we had to kind of find with that presentation that we gave. Again, for those that haven't seen it, the State of the Disabled Union was the presentation and episode of the podcast we recorded at Aerosmith's, and we kind of talked about the good and the bad in the disability community, what's kind of working for us and what's working against us in terms of especially stuff like social services, like social security, the systems in place to help those of us in the community um, live more fulfilling lives. We covered stuff like IHSS, uh, in-home
nursing,
caring, nursing. We covered,
the dreaded SSI checks in the mail,
well, not those so much, but just the
or
the rest
SSDI.
the restrictions
Yeah,
that if you rely on them, you have to live with, such as not being able to have more than $2,000 in assets. Um, the main point was if you had more than $2,000 in assets, you lose your insurance, your Medi-Cal eligibility,
which
which
is no good, stinky.
for people that rely on
Yeah.
services in the extent to the extent that I do and a lot of other people do in the community, it's impossible to do that.
Yeah, you're in this perpetual cycle where you have to spend
Yep.
and you don't really have
And you can't earn.
yeah, and you don't really have a lot of great resources to build wealth. There's the CalAble account, but that one's kind of like it's not as customizable. This is you could argue for this, right?
Mhm.
It's not as customizable or grows as fast as a typical IRA would,
Yeah.
and
You're
it's like,
more
oh man,
limited to what you can do with it,
yeah.
how much you can make. There's a limit of like 100,000 total that you can have in that account. You have a yearly cap at I think 18,000 a year.
Yeah, which is like nothing in the long if you're doing long-term investment, that's
Yeah.
nothing.
But so yeah, we kind of talked about how to use resources like CalAble, different kind of loopholes in the system and uh, all that stuff. So that was, again, we hope kind of an informative presentation. That was a bit more on the serious side, but felt it would make good content. So as we do, we recorded it and yeah, it was still fun to make and give that presentation live. So then we had Living a Better Life
I remember now.
with Cynthia Munoz.
Yeah.
And Cynthia is a very good friend of mine. She was my
Sports camp?
junior wheelchair sports
Ah,
counselor for several years as a kid, and she's super super cool, super super friendly. She lives with cerebral palsy, and she was telling us how it was for her growing up with cerebral palsy, going to school, going to college at UCLA, and some of the adversity that she had to face as a disabled student there before. I imagine a lot of improvements were made in terms of accessibility,
She was there before or after you?
way before,
Oh, okay.
like probably 20 years before.
Dang. She was in it.
In it. Yep.
She was in it.
Yep. So she also works for the Department of Rehabilitation. And so that was fun. We got to ask her about the differences between being a counselor for camp versus a counselor at the DOR. And so if you're looking for resources regarding the Department of Rehabilitation, which I always recommend to people, it's a great service.
They're crazy. Very powerful.
They're cracked.
Very, yeah. Like, if you got disability, they're quite the resource, especially for like education.
Yeah. So if you're looking for info on the Department of Rehab, you haven't seen it already, be sure to go back, check out Living a Better Life with Cynthia Munoz.
Like, this life kind of sucks. And if you got ADHD or on the spectrum, give them a call. I'm sure they'll have something.
Any type of
Yeah,
disability.
just go for it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if you're like, oh, I'm pretty smart, I want to go to college, give them a call, you know, genuinely like pretty crazy.
Yeah. Their whole, existence, the point of their existence is to help those with disabilities fulfill their vocational goals. And so that means they will, if appropriate, help pay for your schooling, textbook fees, training for jobs, all that kind of stuff. So great resource. Check them out. And then as we're coming to a close on our episodes here, we
Exploring the spectrum with Kelly Fisher.
I said all spooky.
Sorry. Exploring the spectrum with Kaylee Fisher.
La 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 la, Elmo's world.
My voice is not that high.
It's that high.
Is it?
Yeah, dude.
La 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 la. Oh my world.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, we got to have that episode, which was really, really fun. I had no expectations for that to happen as quick as that did.
Yeah, which is you called me up, I was like, yo, I gotta guess.
I'm like, yo,
it's recording
I
time.
booked this crazy interview.
Hey, wake up, man, wake up. Hey, it's time to record. I'm like, it's time to what? It's time to record. I'm like, oh, okay. Because it happened so fast. I remember I was like, bam, bam. I'm like, whoa.
Because I had seen them on Instagram.
You showed me some stuff.
They were like on my For You page or something, on my reels that popped up. Really quirky videos of
very demure.
Their employees saying that things were very demure.
Very mindful.
Very mindful.
I'm so hyped for the swag bag. Live swag bag unboxing coming to you.
DM coming soon. But yeah, that was fun. Kelly was super, super cool.
Wow.
The one liner that sticks out to me was we had asked her how she feels about society labeling us, labeling individuals as neurodivergent, quote unquote, right? And she was like, you know what? I think being neurodivergent just means you're awesome.
Awesome sauce. Super cool.
So that was super, super funny. She's super cool, friendly, and she liked the band Hanson.
Yes. Let's just quickly. She works for Spectrum, which is
a graphic design company, a nonprofit graphic design company that's primarily composed of employees that are on the spectrum. I think it's like 65% of their employees are on the spectrum, and they do awesome work.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get that swag bag. And then
I can't wait for my dad hat.
Dad hat, yeah.
My dad hat. What you got there? You see Spectrum on it. Yeah. Yeah, go on. I know. I know. It's hard. I know.
Yeah,
Compose yourself. Compose yourself.
I'm trying. And we actually finished up our last interview with our last guest previously in the previous episode, season 3, episode 9. And that was One Handing Life with Victor McConnell. That was our friend that we mentioned earlier.
Mm.
And Victor was super cool. He is really smart, really, really smart. He was telling us about his perspectives on living with a disability, how he kind of sums it up as a series of inconveniences that you have to deal with, which makes it a lot more palatable, I think, for all types of other types of people, everybody, right? Whether you're
Yeah.
disabled or not, we all deal with inconveniences. So, you know,
Yeah, I just like his approach to just educating people about how not weird it actually is,
yeah,
and I think we need more of that. We need more of that energy,
yeah,
you know.
definitely. Yeah. Talk to him about that stuff. We had a whole deep, pretty philosophical discussion on
Yeah, I guess great. Yeah.
disability and how we interpret it as a society, and
Yeah.
that was fun. And then he talked to us a bit about his piano playing, his music.
Which is awesome.
Wow, it's amazing, talented artist. Go check him out.
A one-handed freak.
One hand,
That's his handle.
yes,
Okay.
not making fun of him. That's his handle. One-armed freak, I think.
One arm. Oh, that's right. My bad.
It's linked in that episode if you want to go check it out. Uh, and then he also has a website where all of his stuff is linked. Pretty easy to find, victormcconnell.com. And you can find his music there, his photography, which we also talked to him about.
Briefly, I was more curious about it. It's cool.
Yeah, that he does event photography,
Yeah.
videography as well. And
Pays pretty well. Not a bad career path
yeah,
if you wanna take photos of if you want to go to like events and take photos of weddings. That sounds fun.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Cool.
But I think his main bread and butter was his IT work that he
Yeah,
does,
he loves doing it. He loves how he loves working with the city. He likes his coworkers. He likes the
specifically like at the school district, I think, right?
yeah, dude.
Yeah,
And he likes how like every day it's like a surprise and he just, it's a grind, but like he likes it. He's good at it.
yeah,
He was very passionate about it. You could tell when we were talking about how they were renovating the high school and he was in charge of ordering parts through that. You could tell dude
yep,
cares about what he does, which is it's always a pleasure to see passionate people. Not just like in what the things they do, but also his music. It's really good to see people that are just like, yeah, this is
yep,
what I do.
yep,
This is what I am. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you say. Yeah, I'm gonna do
yeah.
this. In the wise words of Miles Morales, I'm gonna do my own thing.
I guess I'm out of touch. I haven't seen the newest one.
You're old.
Yeah,
You're old.
kids called me Unk in their letters. Yep.
Did they?
No.
Oh, I read like 80% of them. Oh shoot. Dang.
No.
What's your favorite game? Madden 2011. Damn,
20.
you're old.
Now that's a deep hole.
Damn, you're so old. Do your fingers still work? Do you have arthritis? Oh yeah,
That's
show 'em.
that's creepy. I don't like that.
What's creepy is like how more dexterous this one is.
Oh yeah, that's
My little sausage
my
fingers.
bad one. Yeah, that's all I got. I kind of reminds myself of the for all my scary movie enjoyers, the butler that like sticks his hand in the mashed potatoes. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what the hell you're right.
But yeah, that's a wrap on season 3. So, as always, if you liked what we had to say today, please leave us that rating, perhaps a nice little review on Apple Podcasts, and be sure to share with your friends and family. If you're not already, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and on the TikTok at The Disability Myth. So, once again, thank you so much for all your continued support. We We continue to learn stuff with every episode we record. You know, we've grown a lot, I think, both of us. We first started this podcast thinking it was just going to be me and him talking once in a while, maybe get a guest or something. But this season, we made it our goal to get a guest for every episode, pretty much.
It was epic.
Epic, awesome sauce. Got to meet a bunch of new, very, very cool people as we just kind of went over. We hope you all learned something alongside of us too. And it's just been fun, you know. I made it a point to steer away from uh, a quote unquote myth every episode this season.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest change we've made because
I wanted just
a little bit more freeform.
Yeah, I wanted the conversation to
Jazz.
dictate what people get out of it. I don't want, you know, whoever listens or watches for me to have a preconceived notion. I want them to learn. I want people to make these connections for themselves, you know?
Yeah.
So thank you again for going through all this with us, for being there each entire rotation along the way, all your support, and we hope that everybody's doing really well, and we'll see you real soon. Peace and love, and may the force be with you.
Bye.